Say her name. Say her name, Lakin Riley. Let's get to it.
Leadership is based on who you lift up. The strength of an American president, which is one who understands that the vast majority of us have more in common than what separates us.
Madam Vice President, more than 70% of people
that is about turning the page on rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track.
We're going to skip past this.
If it's on the wrong, but you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam Vice
I believe that at that moment, she actually had a brain fart. When he said that 79% of the country is saying that the country is on the wrong track, and then he said, and you've been in office over the last 3.5 years, I believe, honestly, she just didn't know what to say and she had a brain fart. That was a brain fart moment.
What they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
Hold on, wait. The likes is a little low. We approaching over 7,000 people in here on YouTube alone. And the likes is absolutely anemic. It's absolutely anemic. Can we get the likes up, please? And if y'all haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We should get at least 1,000 new to 2,000 new subscribers within the next hour alone. At least 1,000 to 2,000 new subscribers alone. And make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Let's see the brain fart, and then we're going to go from there.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade, people have become. But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national.
A bunch of people that got fired. Got it.
Security advisor and his vice president. One, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends.
Isn't this ironic? He asked her a question and they said, listen, 79% of people are saying that the country is off track. You've been vice president and your administration has been in office over the last 3.5 years, let alone Democrats controlling the presidency for the last 12 of 16 years. And she goes over to talk about Trump. What have you done? What have you done to break this country, and why are people now saying that it's off track?
Spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him instead of the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
I know, but
it's not supposed to be. It is not supposed to be a cakewalk for anyone.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
are they stupid? What is it?
I would never say that about the American people. And in fact, if you listen to Donald Trump, if you watch any of his rallies, he's the one who tends to demean and belittle and diminish the American people. He's the one who.
Why she can't answer the question? Boy, she resulted back to the word salad quick because that direct answering of the questions was not working out for her.
Talks about an enemy within, an enemy within, talking about the American people, suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
We asked that question to the former president today. Harris Faulkner had a town hall, and this is how he responded.
They have every single chamber loaded in the clip. I don't even think that she knew that she was getting into. It's no way. If I was an aide, if I was a person that was on her campaign, no way I would have let her sit in front of Brett. Brett got the quarterback jaw. When you got that straight jaw, have y'all ever seen Moneyball, where they got to evaluate a player and they evaluate the player's girlfriend, they evaluate whether or not he got confidence and all of this? Brett is the quarterback jaw, straight shooter, always prepared, probably came into the interview understanding that you wasn't going to be the best candidate anyway, but he did so just because you know, his assistant wanted to try to prove themselves, and so he gonna fire her after the interview in the first place. Like, that's Brett. Brett is the guy that you see coming into the interview, and if you don't have a game plan, you can't just answer the question to get the job. You got to do something unique. Brett ain't Charlemagne. Brett ain't Steve Harvey. Brett ain't Ricky Smiley. Straight jaw, quarterback's jaw.
I heard about that. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
So,
Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
Well, he was asked about that specific...
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you.
That was the question that we asked.
Well, she out of pocket. She out of pocket. What you doing? What are you doing? Get out of my bag.
That's not what I was looking for, but...
Jesus.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy.
When you just start losing the battle, you start resulting to talking about your enemy instead of start talking about your plans. That's how I usually know that I got somebody. That's how I know I got somebody. Whenever I'm in a content creator fight or a battle with somebody, I know that my enemy is fearful. They know that they're losing and they're about to completely get wiped out when they start focusing more on me than what they're supposed to be doing. The minute that I get you out of pocket, I know I got you. The minute that I get you to start worrying about what I got going on instead of worrying about what you're going to do and execute, I got you. We 100% offense, no defense over here. Offense, no defense. Offense, no defense. The minute that I can get you on your back heel, I got you. It's over.
And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America.
Ooh, you seeing that real woman come out. See, this is who she is behind the scenes. What y'all see happening right now, what Brett just basically did, is he got her out of pocket. She not smooth, she not calm, she not collected. This is probably what Dougie experiences when he get out of it. What, Dougie? You didn't have dinner? I can't believe you. This is who she is. What you see transforming right now, Beetlejuice, 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 what you see this monster that's coming out of her, is who she truly is behind the scenes, not this poised person that you see pretending on camera, okay?
Because they disagree with him. This is
Angry
a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be...
I wouldn't want to stand in front of her. I thought she was Kamala. I thought she was Kamala. That ain't Kamala. See them veins popping out of her neck? I can't even do it as much as she can do it. See how strong her neck is? That necklace is about to snap. That necklace is about to snap. What? That necklace is going to snap. She going to throw something at him in a minute. Calm down, girl. Stay in your femininity.
In peaceful protest. He has talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake, which is why you have someone like the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff saying what Mark Milley has said about Donald Trump being a threat.
I see the demon
to the
and I pray it out of you.
United States of America.
He's quoted in the Bob Woodward book that way, yes. Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump.
The significance of that.
Call Donald Trump He's misguided. You say now
He's
unstable.
He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well.
Relax,
you say
Kamala.
he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room. And he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people.
Brett got full court pressure on Kamala Harris. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jesus. You know how many different reactions that I can do to this video? At least 12. At least 12. Jesus. He don't back up. Brett is worse than Jesse Lee Peterson.
People who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out, even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again.
Could you imagine if she did a whole hour? Nope.
His former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact.
Brett going through his next question. He ain't wasting no time.
That is a fact.
Madam Vice President, two more things. You were asked on 60 Minutes about the biggest threat that the world faces, that the U.S. faces. This is what you said.
Which foreign country do you consider to be our greatest adversary?
I think there's an obvious one in mind, which is Iran. Iran has American blood on their hands, okay? This attack on Israel, 200 ballistic missiles. What we need to do to ensure that Iran never achieves the ability to be a nuclear power, that is one of my highest priorities.
A number of experts thought you would say China. The FBI director had said that. But you said Iran. If that's the case, what do you say to critics who look at the actions of your administration and say you're not acting like Iran is the #1 threat?
Well, I will tell you most recently, whether it was in April or in October, in the several hours on each occasion that Iran posed a threat to Israel, I was there. Most recently in the Situation Room, in the most recent attack, working with the heads of our military and doing what America must always do to defend and to support Israel in its requirement to defend itself and to give American support to be able to allow Israel to have the resources to defend itself against attack, including from Iran and Iran's terrorist proxies in the region.
Right.
And that is, and my commitment to that is unyielding and unwavering.
Critics just say that you either relaxed or failed to enforce sanctions on Iran, allowing all of this money to flow into Iran, like billions in oil profits.
Let's go back to Donald Trump, who pulled out of a deal that would have actually put Iran in check.
The estimate.
This is brutal. This is absolutely brutal. I'm almost, not quite, I almost feel sorry for her. This is brutal. This is like bullying almost at this point. She don't have a clue. She had no idea what she was running into. This is nasty. Brett is not letting up. Brett, it's the fourth quarter. You up by 40. Fourth quarter up by 40. 7 minutes to go. And Brett still got his starters in the game. Fourth quarter up by 40. 7 minutes to go. And Brett still got the starters in the game. Brett is doing to Kamala Harris what the Detroit Lions did to the Dallas Cowboys. Brett is doing to Jesus. Lord be offense. He still got his starters in the game. They running up the score. They padding their stats. They getting triple doubles.
Then it was during Donald Trump's administration that Iran regime, that we had an American military base that was attacked, where American soldiers suffered traumatic brain injuries, and Donald Trump dismissed them as headaches, not to mention how Donald Trump has treated and talked about America's military and military service people, calling them suckers and losers,
Hamas,
has diminished the significance.
We're talking over each other. I apologize.
I would like that we would have a conversation that is grounded in full assessment of the facts, which includes, I think this interview is supposed to be about the choices that your viewers should be presented about this election, and the contrast is important.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the subject of Iran, I am offering
she's trying to overtalk
what should be an important contrast that is presented for folks to make a decision that they feel.
Who look at what the administration did and say and think differently. Madam Vice President, they're wrapping me very hard here. I hope you got to say what
they rapping them very hard. That means they pushing them to shut the interview down. Oh, they behind the scenes. Shut this down. Now, no more questions. No more questions. That's it. No, I know you got another question. No. What is he doing? What is he doing? They pressuring him. Behind the scenes, they telling them to shut it down. Ooh, ain't no way in the world she can survive an hour of this. They shutting him down. Brett, not another month. Brett, I'm telling you, if you ask one more question, say it again. Do it again. Pressure again. Over. I said cut or cut, Brett. Cut or cut. Which one you want, Brett? Which one you want, Brett? Hey, Fox, give Brett a raise. Give Brett a raise. They said cut or cut. Which one you want, Brett?
What you wanted to say about Donald Trump, there are a lot of things.
There's more to say. I have much more to say.
There are a lot of things that people want to learn about you and your policies, and that's why we invited you here.
I invite everyone to go to kamalaharris.com, and you will see that I have 80 pages of policies that are quite comprehensive and should be accessible to anyone who would like to read them. And it includes what I intend to do about affordable housing, what I intend to do about small businesses, what I do
and that's why we invited you here, to see where you were in 2019 and where you are now.
America's military and ensure we have the most lethal and best fighting force in the world.
Madam Vice President, and they're giving me a hard rap here.
Well, I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Oh. I know Dougie had to catch it when he got home. To have to deal with a woman that just, have y'all ever dealt with a woman that came home and said, you know what, my boss, I'm up to here. I'm up to here. I'm up to here when it comes to working at that place anymore. I can't stand it. Brenda keep telling on me. Melissa just keep coming in smelling like smoke. Chandra over there, she ain't even doing her job, and I got to keep picking up the slack from her. And Ethel done been here the whole time. And she ain't did nothing in the last 16 years. She been here for 40, ain't did here nothing in the last 16 years. I don't know what she got on him. I'm so sick of Ethel. Have y'all ever heard a woman come home after work after dealing with something that she don't want to deal with at her job? And she's sick of Brenda, Melissa, Ethel, and Chandra? Huh? Melissa, Chandra, Ethel, and Brenda. Ethel ain't did nothing in the last 16 of the 40 years she's been here. They still ain't fired her. I don't know what she got. Oh, Brett.